Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of All Things Sport Extra Time. I am your host, Prince Mbusi. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. And if you like it, please do leave us a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please do hit the subscription button. Thank you so much for your time. And we love it here, guys. We love you so much. We'll always appreciate your feedback. You can always leave a feedback on the comments section. Well, now without wasting any further time, on today's episode, we'll be rounding up what has been happening in the sports world, what has been catching our eye. Remember, we might have seen it and you might have not seen it. You might have seen it, we might have not seen it. But for now, we're going to be concentrating on those that we've seen. Let's start off the top. From the top, we're going to start with Mamelodi Sundowns Women's football team. The Mamelodi Sundowns football team clinched the inaugural, the first ever CAF Champions League for women. CAF Women's Champions League. Now, Mamelodi Sundowns went on in Cairo and beat the Ghanaian side of women's football, the Ole Sacked. If I hope I'm mentioning the word or the name right, the Ole Sacked. Now, Mamelodi Sundowns went on to win 1-0 in that game. It was a very tough encounter to watch, but Mamelodi Sundowns showed hunger, they showed determination. But shout out to the Ole Sacked ladies, they did put up a fight, they showed the professionalism. Now, this is big for South African football. This is big for Banyana Banyana. Banyana Banyana is a South African football national women's team. This is big because now, if you always got a team that is participating in continental challenges, that means your team is going to grow. So this is big for Banyana Banyana. This is big for Mamelodi Sundowns football. This is big for South African women's football. Professional women's football is big. It's big. I'm losing words over here. I'm losing words. It's massive. I'm excited for this. But again, I'm loving this. I'm loving the men at the forefront who's showing support. The new Mamelodi Sundowns chairman, Klopi Motsepe. I love the guy. When you look at him, you can see he commands respect. When he all walks into a room, the way he talks, the way he commands himself when he's in the room, the way he speaks. And remember, he even went on to say, it goes without a saying what these women have achieved. They deserve to be rewarded for it. Now, Roma says it that these women are about to receive bonuses of $14,000 each. That is around 200,000 something. I'm not the one person to go around prying in people's banks, but if this is true, if this is it, these women deserve it. They went out there and fought, and we are loving it as South African people, as South African football lovers, as South African sport lovers. We are loving this. Now, the big question is, will there be a star? We wait to hear from CAF. Now, remember, CAF has also put out a policy now that all teams that will be participating in next year's CAF Champions League, that is for the men, they should have a women's football team too. That is what I want to see. That is a good way to carry the African football, not just for South Africa, African football. We've been asking this. I remember since I was young, we've been asking this. We want to see TV. We want to see the football team. We want to see a football team having a women's side, a men's side. We want to see a rugby side. We want to see a rugby side on all professional fronts. Now, the women's football is going to be massive in South Africa. Women's football is going to be massive in South Africa. This is a call to all big companies to render their support. I have to also mention this one. I haven't been paid for this. I haven't been paid. But shout out to Sesol. Shout out to Sesol for always showing support to women's football. Shout out to Sesol for renewing their contract with the Banyana Banyana. Always been there. I think it's more than 10 years since I've been following the progress of Banyana Banyana, but Sesol has always been there. He's always carried the South African national team. We say kudos to you. May that relationship continue to prosper and prosper and prosper. Now, this is a call to all other stakeholders, to all other big companies. Invest in South African football. You can see these women deserve more than they are given. They deserve more. We want to go out there and sit in the stadium. We want to see them on more channels on TV. We want to watch South African professional women's football teams playing against each other. We want to see your Pirates, your Chiefs. We want to see your we want to see your Super Sport playing against your Swallows women's football team. These things can happen. We've got the women to play football. Let's give them what they deserve and let's pay them enough. But other than that, these are the brilliant news that came from South African football. This is what happened on 19th November at 7 o'clock. South African women's football did that. Mamelodi Sundowns did that. This is amazing. I'm loving it. Now, let's move along. Now, Manchester United have sacked finally the Ole Sacked. A lot of you Manchester United fans have been calling for it. You wanted it to happen sooner than later. Is it too late? We don't know. Because the season now, we're almost halfway through. We're not halfway through it, but we're almost there. After 11 games now we've played, out of the past 7, I don't know how many wins he collected, but it's less than 3. Manchester United have been losing. Now, Michael Carrick has been tasked to as an interim coach to continue, but we don't know how far he'll go. This tonight's job, if he goes against Villarreal and wins, does he stay on till the end of the season? In January, do you bring in another coach? Now, the candidates that are there for this coaching job have been said in the media. We don't know the official word yet, but you can never get the official word when the teams are in the hiring phase. We only speculate, and we know the coaches that are there in the market that are free. Zinedine Zidane is free. Brendan Rodgers is not free. He's contracted to Leicester, but you could poach him away from Leicester. We've got Mauricio Pochettino. Pochettino is PSG manager. He's there. He's got PSG, but you can poach him away from PSG, depending how you guys align with each other. But remember, when you're in the process of talking to someone, of getting someone into a relationship, you sit them down and say, this is what I'm bringing to the table. Do you like what I can offer? This is what I'm looking for when we are together. How far can we go? Do you think we can go this far? And then it depends on the ambitions, the principles that you guys share, what you guys have in common. Because that's what binds people. What you guys have in common is what really binds some other people, you know. So we'll be monitoring the story. We'll get to see how it goes. But for me, Zinedine Zidane should be the first candidate. He should be the top of the list because there's other managers, they are contracted to the clubs. Now, if I'm Brendan Rodgers, I'm not taking any... If I'm Brendan Rodgers, I'm not going anywhere. I've got Leicester. Yes, we're not doing 100% well. We're not where we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be pushing the top 4 and all that stuff. But we are not far off it either. I would stay there and build what I'm building. Yes, the result has not been great in the Europa League conference, but I would stay there and work my magic. Yes, you've proven at Liverpool, even though you did not win the league, Liverpool fans love you because what you did to the club. You've went on to Celtic, you've brought the cup, you've brought the league at Celtic. You came back to Leicester, you revived Leicester City. They're playing good football, nice brand of football. You know the English weather, you know everything that is needed to be known about English conditions. But at the same time, you're contracted to Leicester. Stay at Leicester City. Now, Mauricio Pochettino, you've got a chance to achieve something big. You've got great talent at your disposal. Yes, when you go to Manchester United, there's a lot of talent. But again, stay where you are. There's talent at PSG. Test yourself. You're working with the best talent in the world. Test yourself. You've got the Champions League. You're still in it. You're still at the top of the group stages. You're playing Manchester City tomorrow. Go out there and let's see how far we can go. With the talent that you have, you should be in the final and semi-final of the UEFA Champions League edition of this year. Right, guys, let's go going. We'll be monitoring that story. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it unfolds. Let's keep on going. Now, over the weekend, other stories that caught our eye is the Ghanaian 18-year-old teenager. He's sensational. He came on against Genoa. He plays for Roma. It's none other than Felix Gyan. Now, Felix came on the 74th minute while the teams were deadlocked at 0-0, and he came on and scored a brace to bring... It takes Roma to the 5th place. He came in and scored that brace, and he took Roma. They won, and they got their 3 points, and they got into the 1st place in the league standings. Now, apparently, Jose Mourinho had promised the young man that he wanted some expensive boots, and those boots, he got them. Jose delivered. Check this out.
Huh?
Papa!
See if you have to try. No, look at this. The new model.
Hey!
They are different.
I like sauce.
Limited edition, Felix. Limited edition.
Try, Felix.
By José Mourinho.